My name is Morgan Martin, and this is my book presentation of El Filibusterismo by José Rizal, published in 1891. History of the Philippines, post-European contact. The Philippine Islands were colonized by the Spanish in the early 16th century, and the arrival of the Christian colonizers disrupted the Philippine society, composed of the native peoples descended from the first East Asian migration, Chinese traders, and Muslim traders. Most Filipinos were converted to Christianity. Due to the island chain's excellent global positioning, Manila became a global trade port. It was famous for moving goods like maize, tomatoes, and silver from Latin America to the rest of the world. Tobacco was a valuable cash crop introduced to the island by the Spanish. Revolution of 1896. It is theorized that the Suez Canal, built in 1869, planted the seed for turmoil in the discontented country because the Filipino elite and students were able to travel to Europe and see the potential freedom and quality of life possible. Filipino students, like José Rizal, in Europe saw the way a self-governing country operated and wanted reform for their own country. By using essays, art, and books, they called for change. The Social Cancer, or Noli Me Tangere, a book by Rizal published in 1887 which details the cruelty, corruption, and incompetence of the Spanish colonizer government. José Rizal, who founded Liga Filipina in 1892 on a platform of reform, later joined the Katipunan, a group led and founded by Andres Bonifacio and created with the desire for revolution. So he was a part of reform and revolution. On the left is a photo of the KKK, which is an acronym for the Katipunan Group, and organized the revolution, no way affiliated with the American terrorist group. And on the right, the Filipino troops, a black and white photo. José Rizal, born in June 19, 1861, and died December 30, 1896. He was born in Calamba in the Laguna province and was executed by the Spanish government for inciting revolution with his novels and other writings, which he denied. The Filipino nationalist and polymath, master in many disciplines, liked sculpture, painting, poetry, medicine, and politics, among other disciplines. A member of the Filipino propaganda movement, he was a key member that advocated for political reform against the Spanish government. When studying in Europe as a youth, he emerged as a key propagandist, using writings to expose Spanish corruption. His political actions and art led him to flee the country to Dapitan as an ophthalmologist, his profession, until his return in 1892 to Manila. He was arrested while traveling to Cuba to aid the yellow fever outbreak as a doctor, when an uprising of the Katipunan, a militant anti-Spanish society, erupted in the Philippines, and the Spanish police wanted to extinguish all rebellion leaders and brought Rizal to be executed. They charged him with rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy, and they found him guilty. His reputation as a Filipino hero is solidified, and he even has his own park and statue, among others, in the capital, Manila. Seen here. Geography. I wanted to put a world map with the arrows pointing to Spain and the Philippines, just say how far the Spanish had to sail to ruin their lives and make it unfortunate. And then on the right is the Philippines and a arrow towards Manila, showing why it's a global trade port, because it's so well guarded by the sea, and you can fit a lot of ships in there. Geography. This is Laguna de Bay, which is where all the locations in the book take place. Laguna de Bay is the largest lake in the Philippines, and one of the two lakes bordering, or one of the two bodies of water bordering this capital, the city capital, Manila. The Laguna province is where Rizal was born and lived, and yeah, pretty much everything happens in the book in this general area, so it's very condensed. They traveled over water, mountains, and farmlands in this region, and the variety of ecosystem leaves many places to hide and move with secrecy, as seen with the covert storage of Quagora's warehouse and Kasebang's disappearance into the hills to be at Tulisan. Summary of the Reign of Greed. Starting on a boat, the cast of characters reveal their political opinions through a series of interactions. When Simon moves from town to town to sell his jewels, he is actually setting a plan for revolution in motion. For instance, in San Diego, Simon tries to recruit Basilio for a cause while running errands, grave robbing. Also, at a party Simon attends in order to sell his wares to the rich, he is also there to organize a location to hide his gun stash in the Chinaman's warehouse. The students of Ateneo de Municipal University worked to subvert the Spanish friars' efforts to limit their education. They pushed for an academy of Spanish reform in order to provide new opportunity for the Indo people. Cabezang Tales goes to court with the church for undue financial harassment, thus beginning his descent into becoming an outcast and radicalizing against the Spanish government. Quiapo Fair in Manila features an exhibit produced secretly by Simone with an ominous threat thinly veiled in the Egyptian-themed storytelling. The friars are bothered by the threat of Ibarra's revenge and have it banned. This is a show of the religious system having the power to outrightly ban anything they do not like. In the eve of the revolution attempt, Simone visits Basilio in Tiago's house in an attempt to recruit him, again unsuccessful, but is informed that his love, Maria Clara, has died in the convent. The revolution is postponed due to his mourning. Posters threatening violence on the administration circulate the university the following day, and the student reform group is arrested for treason. After Basilio is set free from the aforementioned student arrest, Simone recruits him for the final wedding attack in which Simone's lamp, disguised as a gift, will kill a room full of important friars, politicians, and businessmen. Basilio tells a moping Isagani to leave the wedding feast before a bomb goes off, and then leaves to do his part in the revolution. Isagani instead chooses to save his crush and reveal the plot by throwing the bomb into the river, further revealing the assassination plot and Simone as the mastermind. Simone flees to Father Florence, and commits suicide before he is captured. Before his death, revealing his methods. The father speaks of pain, forgiveness, before throwing Simone's wealth into the water to be, quote, God's will. Intermission.